you know what? No, they're not. No, they're not, because there's still so many of these massive hotels that are still closed down. And they want to say that, oh yeah, things are back to normal. Things are not back to normal. Oh no, don't believe that crap. Oh gosh, things are so far from back to normal now. Jermaine, is San Francisco opening back up? What up YouTube, it's your boy Jermaine back with another video. In this video I thought I would talk about, San Francisco opening back up. Let's talk about the city. Let's talk about a couple things here. So first off, it's been some time since I made a video talking about the city and the state of the city, and right now the city is definitely looking more uplifting and looking like more things are happening versus, you know, months ago when I made previous videos and everything was pretty much closed down and it was wood on the front of majority of buildings throughout the city. And yeah, it was a whole different place back then, but today things are looking better. I'm not gonna say things are looking great, I'm not gonna say things are looking good, but things are looking better. Now, on the media, whenever I cut the news on, you know, they're always talking about how things are just happening and, oh, there's more tourists coming to the city than normal. And yeah, Fisherman's Wharf is busy and packed and all these other neighborhoods are busy and packed. But you know what? No, they're not. No, they're not, because there's still so many of these massive hotels that are still closed down. And they want to say that, oh yeah, things are back to normal. Things are not back to normal. Oh no, don't believe that crap. Oh gosh, things are so far from back to normal. Now, this past Memorial Day weekend, it was a lot more people in the city. A lot more people in the city. Now, this past weekend, I actually stayed in the Marina neighborhood, and I spent a lot of time at the Marina Green. Now, I remember what the Marina Green was like on a Saturday before the pandemic. It was just full of people out walking their dogs, you know, hiking, you know, people sitting by the water, you know, ice cream truck, and, you know, people getting coffee. It was just a happening place. You would just see tons of people out. On this Memorial Day weekend, I was there, you know, and I definitely saw people out, but it was nothing like a normal, you know, before the pandemic, you know, day. It was nothing like that, okay? I also noticed that on actual Memorial Day, it wasn't a lot of traffic in the city. It was definitely more traffic than normal, but it wasn't like, it was nowhere close like previous pandemic, all right? Now, more news articles I'm starting to see pop up all over the place is, I'm starting to see this one talking about how rents in San Francisco, how some people believe the rent prices in San Francisco by the end of 2021, the end of this year, some people predict the rent prices will be just as high as they was last year, 2020 January, because the rents were super high. And then, you know, after, you know, February, the rents sort of took a plummet in certain neighborhoods, especially in the Soma neighborhood. Rents dropped about 25%. Other neighborhoods, rents, you know, dropped maybe 20% or 15%. But I know Soma, the neighborhood that I live in, it had the hardest drop, just because, you know, lots of buildings there, lots of newer places that they built. There's less rent control. It's also very, very trendy in that area. There's a lot of tech companies in that area, and it just got hit. Now, it's kind of hard for me to believe that within 6 months, the prices are gonna go right back to where they was. Because, as of the making of this video, it's just 1 week after Memorial Day. So they're talking about within 6 months, rent prices here in San Francisco they're gonna increase, back to their previous levels. And I think that's kind of BS. I think that's kind of BS for a number of reasons. The biggest reason is just right behind me here, financial district. It's one of the biggest reasons why I don't think those prices are gonna go back up anytime soon. Now, of course, everybody that works in the financial district don't live in San Francisco. They don't live in Soma. Majority of people that work in the financial district live outside of the city. They commute to the city on BART. They live in East Bay, the South Bay, wherever they come somewhere else and they come to the city, right? But when we have the financial district empty, that's gonna create less of a demand for some of those units in Soma. And also, let's talk about the people that left, and let's talk about the people that are moving here now. So the people that left the city were some of the highest earners of the city. You had young people making 120 grand a year. You had people making 200 grand a year. You had these people making money and they're paying rent. They're not buying a house, but they're paying rent. They're constantly spending money in the economy. They're constantly buying stuff. They're constantly going to the airport, taking trips, they're constantly spending money. The city has ran those people out. And the city didn't really run them out. Sort of the pandemic ran people out, but those people are gone now. Now the newer people that are moving here, I just don't think that they're the same big earners as the people that left. A lot of newer people that are moving here are people that were displaced a couple years ago when the rent prices just went sky high, and maybe you had to move out of your apartment and it was rent control. Maybe you were paying $1,000 a month, but then now you're looking at other apartments and they cost a whole lot more. So you're in this situation like, do I pay more to live in the city that I've lived in all of my life, or do I just leave the city and go live somewhere else and just wait till the prices come back down? So a lot of people have done that. A lot of people have moved back to the city because now they actually have options to choose from. I don't know if you guys are aware, but before the pandemic, finding an apartment in San Francisco was not easy. It was not easy. So if you're watching this video from like another part of the world or another part of the country, you may wonder like, why can't you just move to another place? Well, it's just not so simple. Well, at least before the pandemic. I remember driving in some neighborhoods and you would see 20 people outside, and you would see 20 people outside of an apartment waiting. And what they were waiting for is they were just waiting just to see an apartment. And people would literally have like all their documents like in a row. They would have blank checks, and like they would go in and see the apartment, and if they liked it, they would just fill out the check and be like, yeah, we're moving in. That's how it was in the city, like especially in Nob Hill and Russian Hill, those neighborhoods. It was always lawns. All right, in Soma, it wasn't really lines in Soma because Soma's a different neighborhood. It's way more supply in Soma versus like Russian Hill and Nob Hill and some of the older neighborhoods that have more 3-story buildings, 4-story buildings. Also those neighborhoods have rent control, so if you want to stay longer, it might be worth it to wait in one of those long lines, because if you're going to be there for 20 years, you might as well get a good deal, right? You don't see that anymore. You don't see that anymore. Landlords only wish that they had those days today. They only wish that it was people standing outside their apartments, 20 people to choose from. They're about to get top dollar. No, it's not like that. Now it's the opposite, Instead of them, with their 3-story building and they have 1 unit available and they're trying to get the top dollar for that 1 unit, it's the opposite now. It's literally the opposite. Now they have 1 person that wants to see, their unit, and now they have 4 units there, and this 1 person is like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna go look over here at this other neighborhood. It's kind of like it's kind of in limbo. So I'm seeing a lot of news articles, and I'm also seeing a lot of things on the street, and I'm like, Another thing I've noticed completely throughout the pandemic, we're gonna go back to the financial district here, this neighborhood, the financial district. I have noticed a lot of moving trucks. And whenever I see a moving truck, I kind of want to pay attention. Are they taking stuff out, or are they bringing stuff into the truck? Okay. It's always they're putting stuff into the truck. Now, maybe everyone is not moving. Maybe some companies are, you know, updating their office wear, or maybe they're switching floors. And when a lot of companies switch floors, they just like get rid of their old, like furniture and get new furniture. I don't know, but a lot of companies do this. But yeah, this is something I've noticed a lot. Like I always see like moving trucks, and you know, they're always downtown. I don't hear about anyone like moving in. I don't hear about like new companies moving into the city. I mean, I think Upwork is like the latest company that I heard that is moving to the city, and they're just moving from like, you know, Santa Clara, or they're just moving from down south. And that's a really small company. Like they're not gonna take up a freaking whole big building. But just look at this building right behind me. I can just see empty floors after empty floors after empty floors. And that is pretty much like what I've noticed. Like I've noticed a lot of articles, like a lot of news articles that's like, you know, that's all like, oh yeah, everything's about to go back to normal. Everything's about to go back to normal. And then I also see, I just see on the streets, I just see a lot of things that are not really going back to normal. I mean, you take like, you know, the Fisherman's Wharf neighborhood where, you know, all the tourists go. Well, if you come to the Fisherman's Wharf neighborhood today and this is your first time coming, I'm pretty sure you're probably gonna have a good time. I mean, there's some action going on there. There's lots of stuff. I mean, some businesses did close. Not all of them survived, but there's still plenty of businesses left. You know, there's plenty of action left. There's still plenty of hotels to go to. But just the city going back to what it once was, it's gonna take some time. And I don't think it's gonna go back to what it once was. It's gonna go to something new. It's gonna go to something different, you know? It might not be a tech boom anymore. It might be another type of boom. It might be who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen. Like we have to kind of wait and find out. But we'll have to see where these rent prices are at the end of 2021, at the end of this year. We'll have to see where the rent prices are, because I see, like, once again, I hear about, you know, people saying that they're gonna be right back to where they was last year, beginning of last year. And I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I would love to know what you guys have to say about that. Put it down in the comments below. I'm just thankful that, you know, I'm still in the city and it's a beautiful day, and, you know, knock on wood, I haven't got the coronavirus yet, but yet I'm, you know, you guys know how that is. I'll say that for another video. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, y'all.